A nation once known for its seemingly unshakable stability is now standing at a moment unlike anything in its recent history. Belarus, long perceived as a tightly controlled state where unrest rarely surfaced, is suddenly witnessing a wave of civil tension that is shaking the foundations of its political landscape. Crowds are forming faster than expected, voices are rising with unprecedented boldness, and the streets that once felt predictable are now charged with uncertainty. The world is watching Belarus reach a breaking point, and what happens next could rewrite the future of the region. Hello everyone, welcome back to the Global Plus News channel. Please subscribe to my channel and click on the bell icon for daily news updates, because what is happening right now deserves your close attention. From the outside, Belarus appears to be undergoing a transformation that many never imagined would unfold so rapidly. The exterior picture shows angry crowds filling major city squares, waving banners, chanting for change, and pushing for accountability. Government buildings have become symbolic battlegrounds, surrounded by citizens who refuse to back down despite the heavy presence of security forces. Streets once calm and orderly now show visible traces of unrest, roadblocks, burned debris, and clusters of protesters forming across various regions. The cityscape, once marked by routine and predictability, now reflects a society demanding to be heard. The visuals emerging from the country tell a story of conflict between authority and the desire for reform, and this exterior landscape is becoming more intense by the hour. Inside the country, the atmosphere is extremely tense. Conversations in homes, cafes, workplaces, and online platforms all revolve around the rapidly shifting situation. People are uncertain about what comes next. Schools and businesses face disruptions, transportation routes are altered, and communication networks occasionally experience shutdowns or slowdowns as authorities attempt to regain control. Families worry about the safety of loved ones caught in the crowds. Young people are more vocal and digitally organized, while older generations appear torn between fear and hope. The interior environment of Belarus feels emotionally heavy, filled with anticipation, anxiety, and a sense that the nation is nearing a turning point. The performance of the government system, once known for strict structure and centralized control, is being tested in ways it hasn't been before. Decision-making is becoming reactive rather than planned, a sign that the leadership is struggling to maintain stability. Government agencies are working at maximum capacity, but coordination is becoming increasingly difficult as unrest spreads across multiple cities. Meanwhile, law enforcement officers, normally confident and composed, are visibly overwhelmed by the scale of the protests. Each hour brings new challenges and the pressure is clearly mounting. At the same time, the performance of the protest movement is surprisingly strong. What began as isolated expressions of frustration has transformed into a coordinated civil push. Protesters are organizing rapidly through digital channels, moving with purpose, and showing determination that suggests they are prepared for a prolonged struggle. Their momentum grows with every demonstration, and each large gathering inspires more citizens to join. The protests are marked by unity, people from different backgrounds, ages, and professions standing together in ways not seen before. This energy is reshaping the political narrative, creating a force powerful enough to challenge long-standing authority. Safety remains a central concern for both citizens and authorities. Security forces have intensified their presence, deploying riot control equipment, setting up checkpoints, and monitoring key roads entering major cities. Patrols are more frequent, and large trucks carrying enforcement units can be seen taking positions around important government centers. These measures are officially framed as efforts to maintain order and protect public institutions, but they also increase tension on the ground. Many worry about the potential for excessive force, especially as video evidence shows clashes intensifying. Protesters, meanwhile, are using protective gear such as masks, helmets, and makeshift shields to safeguard themselves, indicating how serious and potentially dangerous the situation has become. Unique characteristics of this unfolding crisis make it unlike any previous unrest in Belarus. The scale of the protests is larger than at any other time in the country's recent memory, signaling deep dissatisfaction among the population. Citizens who typically remain silent are now speaking openly, challenging the government with newfound confidence. International observers, media outlets, and global organizations are watching closely, increasing diplomatic pressure on leaders to respond responsibly. Digital resistance has become a major factor, with activists using encrypted channels, online mapping tools, and social media strategies to coordinate movements and avoid security crackdowns. This use of technology gives the civil movement adaptability that authorities struggle to match. The sheer speed at which events are unfolding also surprises analysts, who did not expect such rapid escalation from public frustration to nationwide unrest. The price of this crisis is becoming increasingly visible. Economically, investors are pulling back as instability grows, causing financial uncertainty for the country. Markets react negatively to unpredictability, and Belarus is feeling the effects of reduced confidence from partners both regionally and internationally. Local businesses suffer as protests disrupt daily operations. Transport delays, supply chain interruptions, and shortages in basic goods become more common. Socially, trust between citizens and the government is eroding. More people openly question leadership decisions, something previously rare due to fear of consequences. Relationships within families and workplaces grow tense as opinions diverge, creating emotional strain. Politically, the cost is even higher. The government's reputation is damaged globally, and maintaining control becomes more difficult with each passing day. As institutions weaken, the risk of long-term instability increases, leaving the future uncertain. The unfolding events are shaping Belarus in ways that will be remembered for years. People who once believed change was impossible now feel a sense of empowerment. Youth movements, especially active online, are redefining what public engagement looks like. Elder citizens who experienced earlier periods of political struggle are expressing concerns that the country may reach a point of no return unless transparent dialogue begins soon. Intellectuals, educators, and artists are also joining discussions, emphasizing the importance of peaceful resolution and national unity. Despite the unrest, many citizens continue to show remarkable resilience. They gather peacefully, distribute water and food among protesters, share safety instructions online, and help those injured during clashes. Communities are emerging within the protests, creating a sense of solidarity. This atmosphere of mutual support appears to strengthen the movement even further, making it harder for authorities to silence or disperse the crowds. Meanwhile, government responses continue evolving. Officials give statements attempting to reassure the public, but these messages often lack clarity, leaving many questions unanswered. International organizations call for restraint, urging both sides to avoid violence and seek dialogue. Neighboring countries express concern over the rising instability, knowing that the situation could influence regional dynamics. Diplomatic discussions occur behind closed doors as foreign representatives try to understand the potential direction of the crisis. The geopolitical significance of Belarus adds deeper complexity to the unfolding drama, heightening the global interest. As the unrest continues, people begin to openly discuss possible outcomes. Some believe the protests could lead to negotiations and reforms. Others fear a harder crackdown that could escalate tensions further. A smaller group wonders whether the government will seek international allies to strengthen its position. These discussions reflect the uncertainty that defines the present moment. There is no clear path forward, but almost everyone agrees that Belarus will not return to the status it held before this crisis began. The emotional weight of the situation grows heavier as families worry about the safety of loved ones participating in the protests. Parents ask their children to stay home, while young people argue that this is their moment to stand for the future they want. Some individuals vanish temporarily as they are detained by authorities, creating fear among relatives. The psychological price of the conflict becomes increasingly visible as stress and anxiety rise across communities. Despite the seriousness of the situation, citizens remain remarkably determined. Their persistence demonstrates that public frustration has reached a level where silence is no longer an option. Even when security forces disperse gatherings, new ones emerge elsewhere. People march even when weather conditions are harsh, symbolizing their resolve. The movement's continued strength suggests that what is happening in Belarus is not just a temporary outburst, but a genuine turning point in national consciousness. This moment in Belarus is profound. The unrest has exposed deep cracks within the country's political and social structure, challenging long-standing norms. The world is witnessing a population push back against a system it no longer accepts. The next days and weeks will be crucial, determining whether the crisis leads to reform, prolonged conflict, or something completely unexpected. What remains certain is that Belarus stands at a crossroads that will define its future for a generation. Thank you for watching this in-depth update. If you want continuous coverage and global news analysis, please subscribe to Global Plus News and click the bell icon for daily updates.